Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Driving Viking here, and today's the day. Today's the day where we're going to compare these two vehicles right here. Now, I ordered both of them straight from the factory with similar options. The Jeep, it's got the Xtreme Recon package, and the Bronco has got the Sasquatch package. Both packages come with the lift from the factory and the big 35-inch tires, beadlock capable wheels, you know the drill. But there's one big difference. Jeep has got a solid axle, with the Bronco, IFS. Now, I'm not going to do which one's better than the other, but which one's better for you? Go over the difference, we'll take them on a test drive, and we're going to find out, and then you can decide. Here's a nice view of the IFS on the Ford Bronco. You come over here. You can see the solid front axle on the Jeep. Alright guys, real quick. The trail we're going to be taking these two on today, pretty much a rocky path, heading up the mountain to about 1,600 feet in elevation. One lane, pretty narrow. And I feel it's a good representative for what most people that buy these vehicles are going to be taking them on, especially if you live in an area like the Northeast here. I know a lot of the places me and my friends used to off-road are totally shut down. Stripping pits, private property posted everywhere. So this is what you're dealing with right here. Places like this, state game lands. I mean, unless you want to pay money and then go to the off-roading parks, stuff like that are like an hour away. That's an option too, but other than that, this is what you got. Some nice poison oak right there. Probably not something you want to touch and rub all over your body. Unless you're trying to scare people away, make them think you have some kind of crazy virus or something. Then go right ahead. Alright guys, here we are. Just getting on the trail, just left pavement. And on pavement, this Bronco's amazing. The IFS just handles the road nicely, super smooth. The steering is tight. I almost want to compare it to my old Challenger I used to have, my 392 Scat Pack. It's that good. Pretty performance oriented, which is pretty amazing for having 35-inch tires. Already, one thing I noticed on this trail, just like on the road, minimal vibration. Get a little bit of rocking as you go over the humps, but it's a soft side-to-side action. Very smooth. This Bronco seems right at home. As I've said before in a previous review, the seats in this thing are amazing, which totally adds to the experience. The bolstering really holds you in, and they're soft as hell. I could sit in the seat for hours. But one thing I want to add, I did not air the tires down, so all four corners are sitting right around 40 pounds. You air the tires down, the ride's going to be even softer. So the way I optioned this Bronco out, it's the base model with the Sasquatch package. So you do get the front and rear lockers, which we will not be using today. Matter of fact, I'm in two-wheel drive right now. The one thing that's missing is the sway bar disconnect. You get that with the Badlands, but with the other Sasquatch packages, even the Wild Track, you do not get the sway bar disconnect. But on a trail like this, guys, you don't even need that. We do have trail turn assist, which we will not be using today because there's no need. There's no 180-degree turns or anything like that. It's just straight up. One thing about this trail is, like I said, it goes up to 1,600 feet elevation, and right at the top there's actually a nudist colony. And unfortunately, I can't show that in the video today, guys. I really like this 2.7 engine. It really stays right in the power band. The RPMs are perfect, very linear. There's no dead spots. Sometimes you go slow with certain engines, you get that dead spot. As we work our way up the trail, guys, it's apparent this Bronco's right at home. You could tell Ford specifically designed this Bronco for terrain just like this. The Bilstein shocks just soak up the vibrations and the bumps flawlessly. One big negative thing I noticed with the Bronco, and I noticed this the first day I brought it home when parking it in the garage. The front end is extremely wide, and on each side is a major blind spot. I actually ran over my generator in the garage with the left tire, climbed up like I was rock crawling the generator. I keep finding myself trying to look over the hood the best I can, or trying to stick my head towards the side of the window to look out the side. One thing I will note is, with the upper models, there is a front camera available, which helps out a lot. I wish I had it in this model. One of the similarities between the Ford Bronco and the Jeep Wrangler is the open air experience. Top down, doors off, fun. Now, with the Bronco, when you take the doors off, the mirrors stay on the body, which can be a disadvantage if you're on a trail any narrower than this. They can get in the way with trees, rocks, sticks, anything like that protruding on the sides. With the Wrangler, the mirrors come off at the doors and you don't have to worry about it. One of the things that really stands out to me is, oddly enough, the faster you go with this Bronco, the smoother it is on this trail. It's crazy. Definitely the IFS. As I make my way up the trail, one thing I notice is it's very noisy inside the cabin. You can hear the wind outside, the tires working on the dirt, and you can hear the rocks clanking and banging around as well. This is such a beautiful trail, guys. I love getting out in places like this, especially in the fall when the leaves change. It's one thing about the Northeast. We have more tree species than any other part of the country, so when the leaves change in the fall, the colors are absolutely amazing. One thing you'll notice, guys, by the deadfall on the side there, trails like this are notorious for fallen trees. You always want to have a chainsaw anytime you go out anywhere like this. You get out there in the middle of nowhere and a tree falls across your path and you don't have a chainsaw, you're going to have a bad day. All in all, guys, I'm super impressed with this Bronco. The suspension is just perfect for a trail like this. I can't wait to take it out and try it on the hard stuff. I think the Ford Bronco is a perfect choice for people who want to do adventure style off-roading, camping, overlanding, things like that. Get you out on these trails, enjoy the beautiful scenery. Can't be beat, especially for those who are looking for more modern style, the more modern updates as far as the technology goes with the Sync 4 and things like that. Alright guys, in a couple minutes we're going to switch vehicles here, jump into the Wrangler. Alright guys, here we are on the Wrangler. Just left pavement. One thing I'll say about the Wrangler, and I've said this before, as far as on-road drivability goes, it's got like a loose steering feel, but it's not too bad. The new JLs are light years ahead of the older Jeeps. So, oddly enough, I don't know if you ever rode any kind of motorcycle before. You get that feeling out on the road where it kind of sways a little bit here and there, and it kind of adds to like the fun factor. It's kind of how I feel about the Wrangler. It's a little annoying, especially if you're not used to it, but once you get used to it, it's actually fun. And then you got the solid front axle. On road, I mean, let's face it, the thing's designed for extreme off-roading, so you're going to lose that little bit on-road drivability feeling with the solid front axle. But like I said, with the new models, it's really refined and it's not as bad as it used to be in the past. Really the only main issue I find with the solid front axle on the road is sometimes when you hit potholes and bumps, it can be a little bit like a stiff bump. It's more of a hard hit compared to IFS. Once you get the Wrangler off-road, out here on the trail, it's apparent. This thing is an absolute weapon for off-roading. The steering completely tightens up and the suspension just goes right to work eating everything alive. I optioned this Willys out with the Xtreme Recon package right from the factory. So you're pretty much getting 35-inch tires, beadlock capable wheels, 456 gears, performance brakes, a whole host of upgrades. Iron steering knuckles, the axles are 3mm thicker even than the standard Rubicon. It's well worth the extra money. A couple things though the Willys model's missing, even with the Xtreme Recon package, is the front and rear lockers and the sway bar disconnect. If you want those options, you gotta step up to the Rubicon. Willys also comes with a 272-in-1 transfer case and LSD, which is perfect for trails like this. If you want the 4-in-1 transfer case, you gotta go to the Rubicon. And guys, I gotta say, this Willys Jeep Xtreme Recon is soaking up this trail beautifully. I've seen reviews online that talk about the solid front axle. It's great for extreme rock crawling, hardcore off-roading. And then people complain about trails like this. You can feel all the vibrations in every little bump. I'm not feeling that, guys. Honestly, I don't feel much difference between this and the IFS of the Bronco. I mean, the feedback is slightly different as far as the vibration goes, but not much. It's not earth-shattering. The 2.0 turbo in this Willys Jeep Xtreme Recon it's a great engine. Plenty of power, super linear, and there is zero turbo lag. I've heard people say there's lag in this engine. I don't feel it. This don't even feel like a turbo engine to me. No dead spots, it's great. Plenty of power. And I like the noises that the turbo engine makes. That whistling, that whining, all them sounds. It gives the engine real character. I enjoy that. And I really love the ZF8 transmission, 8-speed transmission in this Jeep. Just holds the gearing perfectly, right at the perfect RPMs, shifts fast and smooth, and it's got one of the lowest failure rates in the auto industry, which is the kind of durability you want in an off-road vehicle, especially when you take these out in the middle of nowhere far out. Huge advantage of the Jeep Wrangler over the Ford Bronco is this narrow front end. It's much easier to see on the sides and in the front. Much less of a blind spot, which is a huge deal when you're off-roading. Speaking of the front end, what styling do you like better? Which styling? Do you like the style of the Ford Bronco, or do you like the styling of the Jeep Wrangler? Let me know in the comments down below. What I most enjoy about the Jeep Wrangler, it's an all-around versatile vehicle. You take it on trails like this, enjoy the forest, adventure off-roading, enjoying the scenery, or you can take it to more extreme places, do extreme rock crawling, climbing up boulders the size of King Kong's nutsack. Alright guys, we're back. What do you guys think? Like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. Both vehicles are amazing. Which one would you rather? Would you rather the solid front axle? Or would you rather the IFS? And guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it helped you at least make some kind of decision. At least, if not now, possibly in the future, because we all know these Broncos are hard to get right now. And please, like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time. Driving Viking out.